All right, James, how's it going, man?
Good, man. Yeah, good.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks for hopping on and doing this. So you know the drill. You've seen other videos like this here in Dark Label. So let's just start with who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
Yeah. So my name is James Lydier. I go by J Rents for music purposes. And I am from Santa Maria, California, originally, currently based out of San Luis Obispo, California. And I work with primarily independent artists who are developing or just starting their careers as independent artists. And I work with them to help develop and level up their sound and basically work with them to get to a place where they feel their music is truly representing who they are as a person and as an artist. And then a little bit of kind of like development stuff afterwards and making sure they feel really set up for success in what they're doing next.
Love it, man. It's a producer, writer, engineer, all the
Mm-hmm.
good stuff.
Yep.
Guide, friend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. You do great work with your people. I've been
Thank you.
excited to see all of that come about. Well, hey, so what were things like before we started working together? What were things like in the business? What were you struggling with? Sort of what
Yeah.
were the reasons that you even wanted to reach out and get some help with things?
Yeah. So it was basically just a lot of really big consistency problems, like not knowing where my work was coming from next, not knowing and not being confident in how much I was charging for that work that I was doing. Really bad economics as far as the amount of time I was putting in versus the amount I was actually getting paid. And yeah, just the biggest problem was just like having no idea where to get clients, how to talk to people, how to actually present an offer or anything like that. It was just very service based, very much kind of luck of the draw, mass, reaching out and nothing working and that kind of thing. So yeah, it was very inconsistent and very undependable.
Yeah, yeah. Pretty common stuff. Just lack
Yeah.
of consistency, economics, the rates weren't there, and yeah, just very little control over what was going on. So
Yes. Yep.
um, well, hey,
100%.
we worked together for a couple months, obviously. What are things like now in the business? Any wins you want to share, just new
Yeah.
discoveries, or just give us an idea of what things look like versus
Yeah.
beforehand?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now, where things stand, I actually just went full time, which is I've tried to do multiple times, but this time it actually feels like I have the tools necessary to know how to get clients, where to get clients. I know ways to approach and actually listen to people and actually know if I can help them versus just being desperate and taking anything that comes my way. So where it stands now, I feel very in control of my business. I feel very unmoved by any sort of like peaks and valleys. It's like I know that if I just show up, be really consistent, and do what I do constantly, overcoming roadblocks and problems that I'm facing, figuring out solutions, that the work is going to be there and I'm going to be able to keep doing what I do. And it's not something that is dependent on luck or like things like that. It's based off of my consistency, the seeds I'm planting, and like my hard work, basically. And it feels really good. It feels good to know that when I put in hard work, I'm gonna see benefits because I have you know, I've learned the self confidence and then also just the tools to actually present my offer in a way that makes sense to people instead of trying to sell something to people that they don't need.
Yeah, love it, man. And rates, do those go up at all?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Where
uh
just start? And I can't quite remember. Where do we start and where do we kind of end
Yeah,
up
so
at?
the most I had ever been paid for a project was like 500 a song, and then now I've had gigs at 1400 a song.
Nice.
So that's production and mixing
Mhm.
as well as like a little bit of development on the back end, but yeah, so like pretty much tripling or almost tripling my rates.
Awesome. Yeah, man.
Mhm.
Put you in a good position to spend more time on fewer clients and really give
Exactly.
them a
Yep.
great experience. So
A lot
cool.
more intentional, yeah.
Yeah, man. Awesome. Well, hey, obviously there's a lot of options out there to learn business and all this
Mhm.
kind of stuff. Why did you decide to go with Dark Label?
Yeah. So for me, it was I had previously seen you in like years ago. How I even started doing my music as a business was the virtual recording studio course,
Yeah.
and
I don't think a
and
lot of people know that that existed
yeah,
6 years
it was
ago
like
at this point.
way back, and basically just taught me how to like get everything legit and get started, even considering being a business. But then from there, I think I must have still been like on an email list or something, and I didn't even know what you were up to. And then I got a dark label email, and it was a video about basically kind of like what uh like how to put together an offer that actually you can charge for, you know what I mean, that is actually worth people paying for, and or that makes sense to people rather, and actually like communicates in an effective way. And so it was a super cool video, and I actually watched that, and it like instantly gave me not answers in the sense of oh my gosh everything's working now, but things to think about and solve, problems to solve. Like it gave me potential solutions to problems that I was running into in my inconsistency and not knowing how to present it and things like that. And so I was able to like, it was actually like probably close to a year when I did that. And I started, all of a sudden I had all these pieces to think about. And then it was like, I knew I wasn't ready at that moment to like go with dark label or anything for that matter, because I knew I didn't have my stuff figured out enough to kind of present it. But then what happened is I got caught in like another, kind of round of emails or something.
Right.
And it was like the second time it came around, I was like, oh, I was like, this is exactly what I'm needing. Cause now I've been thinking about all these pieces. And I was able to like be confident in myself enough to know that I could put in the work. Cause before it was like I didn't even have the self-confidence, but just based off that one video, it was like gave me so much more confidence and put things together in my head so much more. It was like, oh dang. So I think the reason I chose dark label is I saw that it was a direct solution to the problems I was having of having a lot of inconsistency, having not enough knowledge on how to. I was operating as a service-based platform as opposed to like an offer-based platform, a solution-based, like helping people. And I saw it was something that, the people, based off the people you've worked with and things like that and their testimonies, like I knew it was kind of exactly the right fit for me. And so
Yeah, it's a lot better when people are coming to hire you because they want to work with you, James,
yes,
not just because
yes,
they need a service.
yeah,
It totally
exactly,
changes things.
100%.
Cool. Well, hey, last thing here is any advice that you would give to a producer who was maybe in your position early on, lack of consistency, not being able to charge what they want. Any big takeaways from our work together, just anything you would want to tell someone else just so people can get some value out of this
Yeah.
video.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, it was the biggest key that I have learned and that I'm realizing is really pretty much kind of like it seems like, the only real like key or secret to anything is just consistency.
Yeah.
And it is not being moved by the immediate results you're seeing and only focusing on what are those results you are seeing and how can you fine tune those to be more accurate to the people you're trying to reach. So it's like understanding the people you're trying to reach and then being wicked consistent in how you're reaching those people and the way you're presenting yourself and just being completely unfazed by the immediate results. And it's
Yep.
wild how it
It's
stacks
huge.
up and you just start to see just the smallest things, just starting conversations, just really genuinely listening to people without an agenda or an expectation and finding out if you can help somebody and just doing that every single day in different ways. But it's just the consistency. It's just showing up with the mindset that today you're going to do the best you can, the best you know how, and you're going to figure out the problems that you're running into and find solutions. That it's changed everything for me. That's why I've been able to even get work and depend on that. And it's just a consistency piece.
That's great advice, man. Yeah. The first thing is just like, you got to have, in order to be consistent and like know if stuff's working, we have to have metrics, and
Yep.
that's something you did well. You hit your metrics pretty much every time. And
Mm-hmm.
for times, for the couple times where you didn't, it's like, you either kind of had an idea of what was going wrong or you
Yeah.
came to me and was like, hey, I can't quite crack the code here.
Yeah.
Because we could do the wrong thing consistently for a long period of time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the other piece that you said that's important is this is the difference of when people try tactics versus getting good at like network, which is all this is.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yep.
this stuff hasn't changed, you know,
Yep. 100%.
how we get clients. It hasn't changed. It's people are really good at meeting people. That's what it comes
Yep.
down to, which is a skill. The tactic
Mm-hmm.
you use to connect with the person, that'll change every month, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, the reason that you crushed it is because you're good at the foundational skill. And yeah, it's not paying attention to what's immediately happening, because then people get discouraged and they quit, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you're planting seeds for the future and you have to kind of
Mm-hmm.
catch up to that.
Yeah.
So instead of getting good at it, they'll try something for a month and be like, well, that doesn't
Yeah.
work, and then they'll go
Yep.
to a next and go the next, and they're forever just chasing their tail.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, you did a good job at sticking to that. Cool.
Thank you.
Well, hey, I appreciate you doing this, man. And I know you're a busy guy, so I will let you get back to work. All right.
Cool. Sounds good. Thank you, Dan.
All right, man. Have a good one.
All right. You too.